Tony, it makes me think about a person that has failed and quit and whatever, and have gone through to get that time, that personal best time, and set the target for themselves. And they've tried to do this in a probably short amount of time, and they're, you know, focused on achieving that goal. It feels like they need to get back into a circumstances of doing something on a regular basis, getting that habits and consistency happen to really not work on their physical fitness, but work on their mental fitness. And I feel like that visualization when it comes to the running aspect of what you're doing can really help. And I take myself back to the Gold Coast Marathon that I did last year. And that really, that visualization prior, the preparation mentally really helped me. And I didn't do that on my second marathon. And I realize now those lessons of going 1 minute slower because of that visualization that I didn't do, that mental preparation that I didn't do.
Perfect. So here's the key, right? So there's a diagram which I've drawn on other lives, and it talks about beliefs. In order to believe something, in order to increase your beliefs, you need to see the results first. So in your example there, you're seeing the results through your visualization.
What you think about.
100%. Earl Nightingale said that, right? So, you know, thoughts become things, all those types of things. You know, Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. You know, Bob Proctor, think into results. And so you've got to think, right? You've got to see the results first. And how you do that is through visualizing, is through affirmations, is through doing things on a daily basis to yourself. I was having a chat to a lady last night at the property, after the Property Developer Network, and she's been struggling with anxiety. She's finally starting to do affirmations in the last 4 weeks, and it's making a significant difference in her life. And now what's happening is because she's starting to see some results, it's becoming a positive snowball. And she said to me, I want to do more of this. Now, for a long time, she resisted. This is a whole crock of crap, blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't just me. It was others who kept saying, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. You need to change your subconscious. How do you change your subconscious? Changing your belief patterns, starting visualizing, starting to do affirmations, starting to meditate, starting to practice gratitude. This is how you change your subconscious. She finally got on board 4 weeks ago. She's seeing some results, and she was so proud of the improvements that she's made that she just wants to do more of it.
How often does she do it, or does she need to do it, Tony? Would you say?
Daily. And she's doing daily,
habits,
and you need to do it daily.
People, that's like me running 600 days in a row of 7Ks a day. I've said it about 15 times already on this video. I'm actually quite proud of that achievement.
You should be. Yeah, it's a massive.
But the journey keeps going for me because I've got another 4 months to go. So, or something, September, October, November, 4 months ago. 4 and a bit months ago.
That's okay. But then for you, there'll be something new, right? So there'll always be something new. And mate, for 600 days in a row is just simply awesome. So
it's nothing. Because I know I'm going to.
But here's the thing, right?
I'm going to do it tomorrow. Like it's a move on. But I've kind of celebrated.
No, I get it.
In a way.
I get it.
I've celebrated in a way.
But you should.
Yeah, I did.
But you need to celebrate, right? You need to celebrate. You need to. We talked at the start of this live around unwinding, relaxing a little bit. But here's the thing that I want people to know about your 600 runs in a row. In all honesty, how many of those runs did you bound out of bed for and get excited to do?
Probably none.
But that's my point, Luke. Thank you for being so honest. That's my point, right? So I would say that normally it's probably about 20-odd%, right? If that, okay? So the point is that you haven't felt like doing them, but you've done them anyway. Why have you done them?
For my mind.
Is that it? Just for your mind?
Yep. Well, it helps my body as well. But yeah, it's mind.
Helps your body?
It's mind and body, and it creates really good habits.
Perfect. So here's the thing, to all the viewers who are watching, the opportunity for all of us is to think greater than we feel. Luke acknowledged that he didn't feel like doing many, if any, of those runs. Alarm would go off, and it's like, oh, and how often does that happen? Alarm goes off. What do? We hit the snooze button. You know, particularly in winter, we want to stay under the doona because it's too damn cold. You didn't feel like getting up, but you did it, right? And so you thought greater than you felt. That is that, yeah, I feel like crap right now, but I know the positive effect of doing this. I know that from a mindset point of view, it's going to have nice benefits for me from a physicality point of view, from a health and wellness point of view, get the blood pumping, get the day started, all energy high, whatever it is, right?
Machine.
And so, and so, yeah, of course you are. But it's all about you have thought greater than you feel. And there's a point to me saying this. How many times do people not do something because they don't feel like doing it. Going to search for properties, right? Or going to, they don't feel like doing it, so they don't do it, as opposed to they're not looking medium to longer term. They're looking right here in front of them at that very next thing, as opposed to going, you know what? I know that when the time that I finish that run, or when I go and search for property, I'm going to find that property, it's going to help change my circumstances, so on and so forth. But they think, they're not thinking greater than they feel. They're feeling this particular moment. And here's the thing. When you go and hit the snooze button, you're putting your goals off. So you might think, oh, that's one action of me just hitting the snooze button. But then during the day, you procrastinate. No, I'll do that later, right? And so what you're doing is you're constantly pushing back your goals. And what you're ultimately saying to yourself, I'm not that important. I'm not that important. And so here's the thing, and this comes back to the whole subconscious side of things. You might be thinking at the time, like we don't go around, a lot of us don't go around and say, hey, I'm not that important. But those actions, when you line all those actions up in a row, what that's saying is, you're not that important. My goal's not that important.
Well said, Tony. Great discussions today around quitting, failing, accountability. What else did we talk about? A lot of other things. 600 days in a row.
Heaps of stuff. Mate, can I share with something? This isn't a plug, by the way.
Okay.
No. This is not a plug. No. I want to share with you what happened to me yesterday.
Okay, great.
So yesterday in Brisbane was the Property Developer Network's 7th birthday. So 7 years for Rob. Amazing. He's got 6,000 plus members in his community. It's an awesome result. Anyway, what he did is he brought some people up on stage to thank them. And he brought his team up, Shelley and Alex. But then he brought me up. And he gave me a prize.
I thought he was going to say,
what the prize?
No. I thought he was going to say, if we got you. But anyway, no, I didn't hear about the prize. No. So the prize is that he has gifted me a skydiving. He's gifted me a skydiving. Brilliant. I'm coming.
Here's the other thing. Not only has he gifted me a skydiving, I'm going to be strapped to him.
You're kidding? No, is he?
No. Mate, in front of 100 people yesterday. We had 100 people there yesterday at the Property Development Network 7th birthday. Every last one of them is acutely aware there was a crazy photo on the screen. Mate, we're going to go skydiving. I'm going to be strapped to him, and
is he an
I'm
instructor?
shitting myself. No, what he's doing is he wants to do wingman. So he wants to, those wingman suits.
Yep.
He wants to do those, and he needs to do a certain number of jumps and get qualification as an instructor to then enable him to go and do the wingman. So he's going to do that process, and then once he's an instructor, he's going to strap me onto him, and we're going to do a skydive. So I'm absolutely crapping myself, to be brutally honest. I mean, those in the room yesterday will know. Those in the room will know.
I'm coming.
Those in the room will know.
We're going live,
that
people. We're going to go live from the skydive.
So let me say a couple of things on that. Firstly, for those in the room, they will know that the colour. I've got a white shirt on, mate. If I had a white shirt on yesterday, it would all have just lined up. I can tell you, because there was no colour in my face. That's the first thing I'll say. The second is, afterwards, as you know, at Rob's events, you kick on, have a drink or whatnot, have a sparkling water in my instance. But anyway, they were saying, Tony, are you going to do a Facebook Live on it? I said, of course I will. I said, I do a Facebook Live just walking out the front of my house. Of course I'm going to do a Facebook Live on a skydive. So anyway, we're going to do it. We need to lock down a date, but it was you talk about public accountability.
Massive.
Mate, there was 100 people in the room.
Well, you've been talking
100 people in the room yesterday.
You've been talking about it a lot, Tony. As Cameron just said, that's insane. Funny how a dinner conversation a few weeks ago turned into this. Amazing. We'll see what happens when you put yourself out there, Tony.
I am shitting myself. There's no doubt about it. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. I get on here each week on your live and other lives and do my own stuff, and I'm always saying this about all of us to move forward. And I have my own frailties. I have my own fears. I've been very public about those. I went and climbed the bridge the other week when I was in Sydney. I got offered that opportunity, and I didn't hesitate to say yes. And I knew, when climbing the bridge, I knew that I would be shitting myself. But when they said to me, when the people at that conference said to me, do you want to climb the bridge? I said yes. So my point to that is, I talk about lean into your fears. I'm aware of what my fears are, but you want to lean into those, right? Now, I'll be honest, yesterday, when Rob presented that to me, and he presented it to me publicly, right? So I did. My heart sank, right? My heart sank. But then when I stopped and processed it, I went, this is what I need. This is what I need to be able to move forward, because I'm sitting here telling all of you to move forward. I'm sitting here and telling all of you and my clients to lean into your fears. Well, this is a big deal for me, and so I'll obviously keep everyone posted.
This is going to be so good. So. I'm flying. I'm coming up to Brisbane to find out, to see it live. I'm coming live.
Well, here's the thing. So you and I are going to be together next weekend, because I am going to get a plug in now. You and I are going to be together next weekend in Sydney for the Psychology of Property Development.
Right.
Are you not coming?
I don't know. I've got something on Sunday. But anyway, we'll see how we go.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, my point is that we can sit around and talk about the timings. You'll have Rob and I together. Perhaps there's a live opportunity there, mate.
Absolutely.
To next weekend when we're in town together. I know that Davina wants to get on a live as well with you and I. So there's plenty of live opportunities next week when we're all in town. So yes, you better be there, mate. I thought you were going to be there on the Saturday.
What about that? Live for live. Live for live.
Great. Either way, I love it. I love it.
I'm looking forward to it, Tony. We've had a great session today. Good morning to David, who's just joined us right at the end. David, it's 8 o'clock, David. We keep telling you, buddy. 8 o'clock.
I met David yesterday. It was lovely. I went up and said g'day to him. So, David, it was lovely to meet you, mate. And thanks for coming up and saying hello. It was a good day. I really enjoyed
it. Set your alarm. Giovanni, good to see you.
We just talked about hitting the snooze button, didn't we? So we go back about 5 or 10 minutes and don't hit the snooze button. Get up. Think greater than you feel.
That's right. So we had a good discussion about quitting, failing, accountability as well today, consistency and habits. A lot to really talk about. Good chat, boys. This is Cameron. Looking forward to seeing you today, Luke and Tony, next weekend. David says sorry, slept in. Not good enough. Not good enough.
David, not good enough. Not good enough, David.
Absolutely.
Not
Tony,
good enough.
Have a great Sunday. It's been a great session, as always. And
thank you, mate.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, mate.